Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Dunavant, Medical Director for Greater Naples Fire and Rescue District. I wanted to talk with you about an easy way in the field to figure out the weight of the average American kid based on age. The background for this is I was taking online med control and I would get a call from EMS saying, hey, we had a 5-year-old here in the house and the kid's seizing. And you wouldn't necessarily have your Broslo tape with you. Part of this also came from 10 years being on the flight crew of an aeromedical helicopter and having a lot of scene flights. And you don't always have the Broslo tape in the trauma bag when you go to hop out. And it could be, hey, we know there's a 2-year-old at the scene. Okay, I know the 2-year-old is going to be about 12 kilos. Or we've got a 10-year-old who's doing this, and I know off the top of my head the kid's going to be about 35 kilos. And so this is an easy way to figure this out. There's only a couple things you need to know off the top of your head. And from those few things, you can figure out everything else. So there will always be some exceptions. You can look at a kid and say, well, that kid's really huge for that age. But for the most part, most kids will fall along this range. So for the most part, a newborn, typically think of a newborn as about 3 kilos. Now, a child doubles weight at about 6 months. So at 6 months, 6 kilos. For a 1-year-old, there's a 1 in 1 year, and there's a 1 in 10 kilos. 2 years old, 2 in 12 kilos. Most 3-year-olds, evenly divisible by 3, 15 kilos. Now for 4, I want to jump ahead. Most meds, if you can't figure out how much a child should get on a milligram per kilo basis, if you grab a crash cart or an amp of whatever, most amps are based on 70 kilo adults. So for example, if I grab an amp of lidocaine out, it's 100 milligrams. Well, based on a 70 kilo adult, I then know that's 1.5 mg per kilo. So I can dose a kid just based on how much is in the amp. So your average adult weight, you're half that by the age of 10. So by age 10, you are half your adult weight. So if that's based on 70 kilos, then by age 10, you're 35 kilos. By 4, you're 1/4 your adult weight. So it's half of that, so about 17 kilos. Now from here going this way or here going this way, it doesn't matter. It's 3 kilos per year. Whether I'm going like this or I'm going up this way, it doesn't matter. And you can figure it out. So based on this, you got a quick down and dirty way to figure out how much the average weight is of the American kid. You can figure out just off the top of your head, hey, I don't even need to figure out on a per kilo basis necessarily. I've got a 10-year-old, I'm gonna give them roughly half the adult dose. Or a 4-year-old, I'm gonna give them about 1/4 of the adult dose. Another quick thing that you can do is, for the most part, and there will be exceptions, but we need to get the generalities first. So for the most part, almost any IV medicine, again, with some exceptions, but if you can dose something IV or IM, or the other route being oral, nasal, or rectal, typically if you double the IV dose, that'll get you the IM dose. And if you double it again, that'll give you the oral, rectal, and nasal dose. Okay, so 0.1 mg per kilo of a medicine IV would be the same thing as 0.2 mg per kilo IM, or 0.4, really it's about 0.5 mg per kilo orally, nasally, or rectally. Okay, hope this helps a lot. And remember, you can always go to your amps and your medication box. Whatever that dose is, that's based on a 70 kilo adult, and you can always break that down. That amount divided by 70, that's your mgs per kilo, and there's your kilos. Thank you very much. Hope this helps.